Wishy-washy.
Wishy-washy, but I think that that's something that you guys really... This is a real thing that people need to understand.
Sick. Ew, stop!
What? What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm Paul.
I'm Morgan. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe because we risk giving TMI
To help you navigate DMI, dating, marriage, and intimacy.
Whoop, whoop.
And real quick, Patreon shout out. We could not be doing what we're doing online without you guys. If you're not a patron, we do patron-only Zoom calls, weekly Patreon encouragements. We have a private Discord community. We invite you guys, join the fam, patreon.com/Paulandmorganshow. The link is below. All right, Morgan, so we're talking about signs that a person is wasting your time. And honestly, like, I hope that people, just when it comes to relationships, people often put on like jaded glasses because they're infatuated with this person. This person has good qualities that they're looking for. All of these different things, and so they overlook what should be red flags.
Yes, I think you mean rose-colored glasses.
That's
FYI.
it. And that's it.
I agree, and you guys know that we just encourage y'all to take dating seriously. It can be fun, it can be exciting, and we know it is, and we love that for you. But take it seriously and don't waste your time and don't waste other people's times.
Right, and so the first sign that a person is wasting your time is if they are not invested, if they're not investing of their time, committed like you are. And I don't think you need to get all up in your head of, I'm putting this much investment into our dating, and are they putting exactly the same amount? Don't start overthinking it, but it should be pretty clear to you if you are moving within wisdom, discernment. I'm always the one planning activities. I'm always the one showing up, and they're bailing half the time. They have other stuff going on. I'm trying to talk here, buddy. I love you. If they're not putting in the effort. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah, and I feel like I'll just speak directly to you ladies out there. You know, if you're always the one that is reaching out to the guy, setting up the hangouts, setting up the dates, texting, asking how they're doing, starting the morning conversations, calling them, like, I would say that's a red flag, and in my opinion, they're wasting your time. Because they're not pursuing you in the way that they should be if they genuinely are looking to get married one day.
You said that fantastically, but I've noticed, and it's maybe more often girls, but I don't want to just say that, guys too, they can be a little like over the top and always needing to communicate.
Right.
And to where it almost comes off like maybe the guy or girl just doesn't need that so much. They don't need a text every hour of the day. They don't need to see you every day.
Yes.
So you take that into consideration, but yeah, if they're not putting forth the effort, be real with yourself and say, this person might be wasting my time.
Alright, before we get to the next one, make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you're liking our new vibe.
We're getting creative for you guys. Show some love. Give it a thumbs up.
You can't put us in a box.
You can try, and maybe they've tried in the past, but we're trying to break out of that box a little bit. All right, Morgan, what do you got for number 2?
Number 2 is if they say they're a Christian, but they're bearing no fruit.
Or very minimal fruit.
Yeah, minimal.
Or they're going backward.
Or they're going, wow. Here's a little story you guys might know, but in case you don't, listen closely. I dated a guy for 3.5 years, and when we first met, I made it very clear that I was a believer and that I was dating to marry. And I made it clear that I wanted to be dating someone that took their faith very seriously as well. And so, you know, maybe I set this guy up for failure because I told him the things that I wanted, and he was like, so if I'm not these things, does that mean I'm out? And so he felt maybe pressure of like, okay, I guess I gotta let her know that I'm gonna be this guy for her.
Or at least, yeah, say that I am that guy or will be that guy.
Yeah, and so he, you know, told me I am a believer, I want to grow actually in my walk with the Lord, and I would love to grow with you in our walks and things like that. And so, you know, throughout the beginning stages of our relationship, there definitely was some fruit. Seeing him coming to church with me and my family, he joined a Bible study. there was immediate fruit, but then as we continued to date, it became very clear to me that he was not very serious in his faith, and he was really saying those things to please me. And sadly, I put on those rose-colored glasses for 3.5 years and ignored all of the signs. So hopefully you guys will hear me and hear that it's way more painful to go 3.5 years in ignorance and whatever blindness.
Convincing yourself that it's one way when it's not.
Yeah, then to just end it a few months in and move on with your all's lives. Don't waste their time and don't let them waste your time.
And you guys have heard us say this. It's not like you're writing this person off. Oh, I'm your enemy or something like that.
Yeah.
You're genuinely for them. Like, you can be praying for them. You can be hoping that they get around, that he can get around other guys that build him up and help him grow. But your purity, your marriage, like all of this stuff is too precious and too important to risk it on someone who's just not spiritually where you need them to be. And last thing I'll say on that, Morgan, is it is one thing if they're in a maybe a younger place spiritually than you are. They're a newer Christian, but you see them on a good trajectory. That's something that, you know, you may want to give them a little time, but you can be like, their heart is in the right place and they're moving. They're becoming stronger in the Lord. They will be able to be the spouse that I need. Yeah. But it's another thing when they are just stagnant or they're not taking it seriously, and that's what we're talking about. All right, let's get this guy to bed.
Time for nap-naps.
Yeah, we love you, dude.
For Paul's massive peanut butter sandwich. I've never seen such a thing.
I worked out today and I need the calories. Come on.
It's literally 3 slices of bread. Well, hopefully you all can understand him talking with peanut butter mouth.
I will take very small nibbles to not be distracting. All right, guys, number 3 is that they are passive about marriage being the end goal. We thought about, how do we word this one, Morgan? Passive, they are just like...
wishy-washy.
Wishy-washy, but I think that that's something that you guys really... you really need to get a grid for is, what is the purpose of dating? And I guess this can be debated, but our Christian perspective is you are dating to see if your lives, values, faith, stuff aligns so that you can get married. Dating is just this intermediate phase. It's not a place to stay in forever.
Yeah, so if you have been dating this person for a few months, whatever you think is reasonable time, and then you bring up marriage and they're like, oh, yeah, let's give it a little longer before we talk about marriage. Yeah, I want to marry you sometime, but yeah.
Again, a lot of it goes back to use your God-given wisdom. And if it's just clear, marriage is just not the priority for them. And it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, it's just not even in their thinking. I would just say they're wasting your time. Find somebody it's clear, yes, it may take a little time to get to know you, to see if this is the right fit, or if it's not the right fit, and then I need to move on to someone else. But my goal is to find a spouse, and I'm not just gonna wait around for 10 years.
No.
Sorry if we're sounding a little too negative.
You're having fun with that sandwich, aren't you?
This is a real thing. This is a real thing that people need to understand.
I'm sick. Ew, stop!
What?
Alright. The next sign they might be wasting your time, and this goes along with the previous one, is they keep pushing back milestones. And by that I mean you guys have talked, you've been dating for a good little while, you've decided, yes, we could see getting married, and you all have decided, how about after we graduate from college? And then you graduate from college and they're like, how about when we get a job? And then you get a job.
Yeah.
And they're like, how about when we've been working for a year?
Oh, that just makes me cringe. It's an exhausting cycle.
exhausting. It's exhausting.
And then 8 years of your life has gone by and there's nothing. And ultimately, yeah, maybe you had some good things you learned, but you've kind of wasted 8 years. You've allowed 8 years of your life to be spent away from your goal, which is to start a life with someone who's committed and is going to be your spouse, you know? Like, oh, but you just spent 8 years with someone who wasn't, who kept dragging it along and making you think, when we hit this milestone, then marriage. No, actually, I want to make sure that this is in place. And call that what you want. Maybe they're just doofus.
Weenies?
But no, maybe, wow. Our mind both went to the same spot.
I'm sure that they have their reasons.
Sure.
But are they biblical reasons, or are they reasons that come out of fear? You know, what is it that's causing them to keep pushing it back? So
right, it could be, oh, I just want to be financially in this spot. Oh, our life would go better if we were done with this stuff. I get that, but if they keep indicating, well, once we hit here, then we're getting married, and then they keep flaking on that, could just be flaky. Could be a lack of commitment. There's a number of things, but we would both say that's a concern, and this person might just be wasting time.
Yeah, and you know, I'm just gonna say this, if you guys are physically doing things, that might cause them to keep pushing marriage back, because what's the point of marriage when they're getting everything that they could get?
You got the milk for free!
I've never heard that.
Why purchase the cow? I'm not calling you ladies a cow. A heifer. What is a female cow? Heifs and steers. But no, hey, listen though. That is a phrase as old as time. Why purchase the cow when you could get the milk for free?
Yeah.
The guy could be the cow as well.
So don't be doing physical things that you're not willing to do and not get married. And that made zero sense, but you know what I mean.
And we talk more in depth about a lot of these type of things. Like we talked about getting physical. We've made several videos. So just search Paul and Morgan physical boundaries, and several should pop up. Guys, we love you. Comment below, do you agree with these signs that we mentioned? Have you experienced this in a relationship you've been in? Keep the dialogue going and send encouragement and help for those who might genuinely be needing it. We love you guys. Thanks for watching. Seriously, if you enjoyed our new format, we're going to be playing around with this.
Yeah.
We're taking it up a notch. What we're looking at right now is probably Thursday's video will be this kind of edited topic meets a little bit of a vloggy vibes. We hope that you guys like that. But then Monday will still be our sit down live stream where we tackle topics as well. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you're excited. We love you. Talk to you again very soon. Have hope.
And be free. Wishy-washy.
Wishy-washy. Hey guys, as you may have noticed, we get very few brand deals. A big reason for that is because we make unashamedly Christian content.
We've had brand deals taken away from us because people who don't like us reach out to them and demand that they cancel us.
Due to the fact that we stand on what the Bible says and we don't conform to culture.
Which is why our patrons, the names you see here, are so important.
You guys really are the lifeblood of this ministry. We could not do it without you all.
If you guys believe in this content and you want to partner with us on Patreon, go to patreon.com/paulandmorganshow or click the link in the description.
Go team. That was the one.